I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself.
G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Road to Heroes song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play What a Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong, which is a beautiful classic. Now in this lesson, I'm going to teach you two different ways of playing it. The first way is going to be easy strummed version, and the second way is a finger-picked version if you want to mellow it out a little bit more. Now for the basics of this song, you'll just need your guitar and standard tuning, and you won't need a capo. Now the guitar I'm playing in this video is the Journey Instruments OF312 travel guitar that has a collapsible neck, so it's great for traveling. If you want to find out more, there's a link in the description below. Alright, let's jump into the lesson. Alright, so let's start with the easy strummed version, and then in the second half of this video, I'll teach you how to take those same chords and finger pick them. So let's start with the strumming pattern that you'll basically be using throughout the whole song. And it's just 6 down strums. So now this song is in 6/8 timing, so it's got that kind of waltz feel. So it's good to think in terms of threes. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. So let's start with the chords in the intro, and there's 4 chords here. We're going to start with an F, and then we'll go up to a G minor, and then back down to F and back up to G minor. Now, if those full bar chords are giving you trouble, then just focus on getting the top 2 or 3 notes. It will give you more or less the same result. We're just playing power chords by doing that, but at least it will get you going. And if you want to find out more about this bar chord hack, then there's a link in the description below with a video about that. So the intro sounds like this. Then we move to verse number 1. So in verse number 1, we have 4 lines of chords here. We're going to start with our F, then we go to an A minor, then we go to a B flat. So from this position, just shift your middle and ring finger up 1 fret, pinky finger onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and index finger on the 1st fret of the 5th string. Like that. Now again, if this full bar chord is giving you a bit of trouble, then just focus on the power chord itself. Then we go back to A minor. For the second line of chords, we have G minor, F, A7, and then D minor. And then for the third line of chords, we go to a C sharp. So it's the same shape as that B flat, but up at 4th and 6th frets. Again, if that C sharp is too tricky for you, then just focus on the top 2 or 3 strings. It will get you more or less the same result. So that C sharp is held out for 2 strumming patterns, and then we go to a G minor 7. So an easy way of playing this from your C sharp is just slide these 3 fingers down to the 3rd fret and your index finger just on the 3rd fret of the 6th string, and keep that 5th string muted. So that's G minor 7, and then we go to a C7. So it's the same as a C, but with your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And then for the final line of chords, we have an F, then a B7 flat 5. So it's the same as a B7 chord. So a B7 chord looks like this, except we're going to flat our 5 note. So the middle finger is going to be playing that 4th string, and that's on the 3rd fret. So that's B flat 5. And then we have B flat major 7, which looks like this. So shift everything down 1 fret, index on the 1st fret, ring and pinky on the 3rd fret of the 4th and 2nd strings, and middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd. And then C7 to end that. And in total, verse 1 will sound like this. Now verse 2 is very, very similar except for the final line of chords. So for the final line of chords, we have an F, a G minor for 2 strumming patterns, and then we end with a C. So not a whole lot different there. Then we get to the bridge. So the bridge has 3 lines of chords. We're going to start with the G minor, then we go to a C7 and an F for 2 strumming patterns. That line of chords is played through twice. And then for our second line of chords, we have D minor, C, D minor, C. Then for the third line of chords, we have D minor, F sharp diminished 7. So to play that, your index and middle finger will be on the first frets of the 4th and 2nd string, and ring and pinky will be on the 2nd frets of the 3rd and 1st strings, like that. And we're only strumming from the 4th string onwards. And then we go to a G minor 7, and then a C7. So the bridge in total sounds like this. Then we get to verse 3. Now verse 3 is the same as verse number 1, again, except for the last line of chords. So for the last line of chords, we have an F, and then we have an E flat 9. So to play that, middle, ring, and pinky finger on the 6th frets of the 5th, 3rd, and 2nd string. And your index finger is on the 5th fret of the 4th string. So we're just gonna strum those middle 4 strings. And then we go to D9, so it's just the exact same shape down 1 fret. And then we go to a D7. So the final line of chords. And then finally for the outro, we have a G minor 7. We strum that and hold it out for 2 full bars. And then we go to a C. Hold that out for 2 full bars and end the song on an F. So that's it for the strumming, but what if we want to pick it? And picking it gives it a really soft and mellow tone. It sounds really nice. So if we're picking it, we're going to use the exact same chords that I taught you in the strummed version, except we're just going to follow some basic rules here. So rule number 1 is we're going to be plucking on each 8th note. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. That's our constant timing, and that's what we're going to constantly be picking. For our finger picking rules, our thumb will take care of the 6th, 5th, and 4th strings, and your index, middle, and ring finger will ideally take care of the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st strings respectively. They shouldn't pluck any other strings other than the ones they've been assigned to. So let's take this intro for example. Our typical picking pattern will be the bass note of whatever chord you're playing, and then the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. And that will be applied for all the chords. So the intro. Now when we move to the verse, again the chords stay the same, but we just need to apply that same picking pattern to everything. So it starts with the bass note of whatever chord you're playing, and then the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 4th strings. Now in this first verse, there's 4 lines of tab now. Now the only exception to this picking pattern is where we're playing chords where the bass note is on the 4th string. In that case, like this D minor for example, in the second line of tab, we're going to pluck the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. But everything else is going to be bass note, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings in terms of our picking pattern. So with all that in mind, the first verse sounds like this, picked. Now the second verse is almost identical to that, but again, the final bar is where the chords changed a little bit. So it was F, G minor for 2 bars, and then the C. So the final line of tab for the second verse. Next we move to the bridge, and again the chords are exactly the same, and the finger picking is exactly the same. Now where we have the D minor, again that's where you change from 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, 2nd, 3rd strings in that motion. And the same applies with this F sharp diminished 7 chord. So the bridge in total. For the third verse, again, everything was the same as the first verse except for that final line of tab where we go F, then we had our E flat 9, D flat 9, and finally our D7. Again, this D7 has the 4th string as the bass note, so you'd pick from the 4th string and then 3rd, 2nd, and 1st. But because this is towards the end of the song, we're just going to end it at that 1st string. So that final line of tab for the third verse. And then for the outro, we're just going to hit that G minor 7, C, hold that out for 2 bars, and then end on an F. And that's everything for the picked version. So again, we're using the same chords as the strum version, but just applying that simple finger picking pattern to all the chord shapes. So now I'll be doing 2 playthroughs of the song. I'll be doing the strummed version and the finger picked version. I'll also have a vocal track on top for some context, so feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
See them bloom for me and you, and I think skies are blue and clouds are white. The bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow are so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of all the people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? But they really saying, I love you. I hear babies crying and watch them grow. They learn much more than I'll ever know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.